Okay, hey again. So you've said that you want to get better itemization, wave management, prioritizing more on side pushing, and also focus on playing for improvement after the last coaching. Just want to know what you could have done better to win the game. You got lost in team fights again. You're still lagging game knowledge and you got really tilted in mid game. Okay, and just to refresh myself, in the last one we talked a lot about wave importance, warding, cooldown punishment, and team fighting. So I'll definitely look out for those things again. But yeah, let's kind of see how it goes. So LeBlanc versus Qiyana, winning matchup. You definitely have the ability to snowball this game. In my opinion, you're pushing a little too fast, but I think it's like not too bad. I think you've put a bit too many auto attacks on the wave, but it's like not a big deal. You could push a little bit slower basically to extend your lead a bit more, but this is still good. It's like 90% of the way there, which is like definitely good enough, even if you're a challenger probably. So far, yeah, you've been doing well so far. I like the E too as well. Yeah, I think you could have played quite a bit more aggressive. Okay, actually, yeah, good punish. I was going to say you could have walked up and done that a little bit earlier, but like you still did it well. Okay, I'm actually going to go back a little bit because I think there are some stuff here. So first, when you're a matchup that you control really, really hard like this, you can afford to stand like right next to the creeps to make it a bit easier to CS for yourself. So far you've CS'd all the creeps kind of from range, but if you've watched my farming guide, you'll know that you can literally stand right next to the creeps if you're in a winning matchup to kind of make CSing as easy as possible. So LeBlanc CSing with auto attacks isn't the easiest in the world, but a lot of the time you're also making it a bit more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. Like, so you have 4 CS right now, which is pretty good. Like, okay, right here, it's so easy to CS that because you're literally right next to it. Um, Here I think, I mean, yeah, you kind of just messed those ones up. Yeah, so I think you missed a lot of CS there that was pretty unnecessary, but in terms of the actual trading, it's been quite good. I think, again, yeah, you could have probably pushed 3 waves instead of 2, but it's, like, still really good. So I'm happy so far with the wave control. And I liked the E level 2 when you got 2 first. Now, the only problem here is, I would say, is that at no time here did you place a ward. So I think right now, when you don't have cooldowns up, it's probably good to quickly go drop a ward like right here. Normally I say like 2 minutes 30. I believe you know Kha'Zix started bot side. I should actually just go to your vision. But I think you knew based on like who leashed that Skarner started, I mean not Skarner, Kha'Zix started bot side. So it should be like a 230 ward up here somewhere, and I think now would be a really good time to ward because you don't have cooldown, so it's a bit hard for you to harass. Like you can see right now, you're just kind of standing here, right? You do get an auto attack on it, which is nice, obviously, but if you got this ward a bit earlier, it would put you in a better spot. But yeah, again, it's not the biggest deal. I don't think you can die to a Kha'Zix gank, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be proved wrong. You should definitely let this wave push back to you, and it'll be quite hard for her to play the game. Good harass. Yeah, nice. I mean, so far, I think you're playing the lane pretty well. So that's definitely an improvement. Okay, you walk to this. Yeah, that's good. Can probably look for a kill on this guy very soon. Pretty sure if you hit the chain, he's just dead. I think you... well... I think you might have been able to kill him there. Depends how confident you were in hitting the chain. I think you can still kill him here if you flash chain him, probably. Oh, he's dead. Okay, nice. I mean, so far, I think you're doing great, to be honest. Like, a lot better than the last time, so that's really cool. Now this is a little bit awkward, so I'll explain this. So, yeah, this would have been a good base. Oh, actually, hold on, let me... Sorry, I just, like, go way too ahead of myself. So, you get the kill, and then you want to look to base without losing creep. So right now, it would be great for you to base just right now, and the wave will push to you. It's in a perfect spot. You realize that the enemy support, unfortunately, comes and kind of ruins it, but I think, yeah, okay, you can still go for the base. In my opinion, I would complete this base. So, you've decided not to complete it, which is going to make it now quite difficult for you to base, and it's going to mean it basically gives Qiyana, until you get your base off, some kind of like control over the lane. So this is, it's pretty bad, honestly, because it's going to mean that for the next, like, I don't know, 2 minutes or however long that it takes you to reset, you can't punish Qiyana very much. Then she's going to know that and can kind of play how she wants. So that's really painful, because it's like you got a solo kill. You know, you should be able to use this to snowball really hard, but instead you've died. I think you can kill this guy though, right? Okay, I mean, that's good. So now you actually are going to get that reset. I still think it would have been better if you'd based before, but like, this is still really good. You get last chapter. Everything is perfect at the moment, I would say. Yeah, you couldn't buy a pink, so that's all good. I think you're in, yeah, you're in an amazing spot to carry the game. You have like decent CS, you've gotten a solo kill. You've hit your item spike. Now here, what I would start doing, I would actually start auto-attacking this back wave a little bit, because I think you could look for a W and then a double chain on this guy with your ignite, and I think you could probably kill him right now. So I think if you were auto-attacking these right now, when he kind of walked like this, I think you'd be able to W here, kill the creeps, and then you'd get an easy chain. So I think here you played a little, I mean, you probably just like didn't realize it, right? But you could play a little more aggressive here, especially when you were level 6 versus level 5. You kind of let him hit level 6 without too much punishment. But the wave management right now is really good. And should be double chain combo. Good, good, good. Now you're smurfing. That's awesome. Okay, and you walk to this. That guy goes down. I mean, yeah, so far, I'm definitely happy with how you've improved. It's looking good. Need to go. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Yeah, here it actually is pretty hard for you to do something. I think maybe here you could have double dashed over the wall. But it's not the easiest spot for you to deal damage, so I don't mind it that much. It did look a little tough, and like they had people there, right? I kind of don't mind it. Should definitely hard push this wave. Probably worth ulting this wave. Yep, you do. Nice. So you base. So the only thing that's really bad for you right now is your actual CSing, and I'd say most of this is just from right clicking. I guess some of it as well from the from your base getting messed up. Now this point in the lane is where like you can start doing some method CSing as LeBlanc. So again, another thing that I kind of talked about in my farming guide, but the way you can farm waves on LeBlanc once you get to like level 8 or so is if you just auto each of these like range creeps once. Dude, why can't I click on the melee creeps? Why can't I click on the range creeps? Anyway, if you auto these range creep once, Q one of the melees and then W them, you should be able to kill all of them. So like here, oh, I guess maybe you need 2 autos on the range until you're level 9. Depends kind of how fed you are, but yeah, basically you want to get to the point where you don't really have to CS every creep with an auto attack. So like here, I would just be auto attacking the back wave, putting 2 autos on each of these, queuing this, and then Wing all 4 of them, and that guarantees that you get most of the wave in CS anyway. Instead here, like, I mean, it's fine what you're doing, but it's not as good. It would definitely be better to have these low so that you could W onto him as well. So I think you make the CS unnecessarily hard for you to get, and also by not autoing the back wave, you do make it a bit harder. Like right now, easy opportunity to WE him. So you definitely could have gone for that there. And it's like the same when the next wave comes. Like you should be looking to auto attack this back wave, getting it lower so it's really easy to just W onto the back wave. I talked about that a lot in my LeBlanc guide, I think, maybe in the laning phase. But just like getting this back wave low enough to where your W kills it. I mean, definitely now that you're level 9, you only need 1 auto attack. And then if they ever walk up, you can punish them quite hard for it. Yeah, so I'd say at the moment, like, the biggest problem you've had this game so far is that you've just made the CSing, like, way harder for yourself than it needs to be. And also, it's just like, you haven't been as aggressive as I think you could have been. But part of it is because you're not autoing that back wave. Like, I think if we just go back, I'm gonna go back like 2 minutes, because I was thinking a lot about the CSing, but if we just go back to here, like, you're coming back to lane, you're up, like, you're up a level on him, I believe. Oh, it's after this base. Okay, so after this base, you're like up a level, you have Sorks and Lost Chapter and Ignite, so you're basically as strong as you can possibly be right now. You have your ult, you have every cooldown up. And I think you just, like, didn't really punish him that hard. Like, he's... Okay, I guess you missed this chain, so if that chain hits, obviously it's a better punish, but... Like, here, you hit level 9, you're level 9 to level 8, and this guy had just used his W cooldown. So you could literally just W right here and it's free. I'm not sure why you're scared, or, like, why you're not punishing, so you could definitely pressure a lot more. Again, he just used both Qs, so you could, like... You could just, like, walk at him and W him on him right here, and he can't really do anything about it. Yeah, so it's like, you kind of just, like, waited a bit too long, I think. And the CS obviously was a bit harder than it should have been. I think this run's fine. You can easily get back to mid in time, even if it doesn't work out. That's good. I think you used... I'm just going to check. You used RW there, right? Yes, nice. Very nice. Okay, you get a kill. That's all good. We did give a bit of CS, but it's fine. Coming back mid. So, like, here, again, this is when you should really be, like, method CSing. So the way to do it here, just auto-attack each of these range creeps once. W all 5 of these. Well, if you can, Q one of these melees and just, like, kill them all here, or even WR this wave. Instead, it's like, if you try and actually last hit all these creeps, it's like, you can, right? Like, if you see as well, because right now you're actually getting them all, but you're full mana and full cooldowns, so you don't really lose anything by doing this. And also, you would have pushed this wave way earlier, and then you would be here without having to lose creeps, so I think that could be, like, a really simple change to your gameplay that would make it a pretty big difference. Nice, good combo, really good combo. Okay, you look down to that. Let's just see, I didn't really see it. So... Now, why did this happen? I guess you get back to mid a bit late, but it was because you were killing Kazakhs, so not much you could have done except, like, spam ping a bit more. But, I mean, do we really trust our teammates not to die? I feel like it's not really your fault. Again, so this should be another method CS, auto attack. Okay, like, you almost did it there. You should auto attack each of those once and then probably Q the cannon creep to kill this a bit faster. You're looking top, but I think looking top here isn't the greatest. So let's just go back a bit. Okay, so this happens. I think here you probably should look to help your Wukong. Like, I think you're... Yeah, there's, like, low HP guys here. I understand walking top because it's like, this guy's half HP, but the problem with walking top is, like, you have no vision, you have no knowledge on where their jungler is, and your jungler's on the other side. So, for a lot of reasons, like, walking to this isn't the greatest. I think you get a bit unlucky that Kha'Zix is here, like, that's pretty surprising. But, yeah. So, anyway, Yeah, I mean, this is really punishing. Because you're going to lose a lot for that, so I think you're kind of just playing to the wrong side of the map. I think it would have been better just to play towards your jungler. And also, like, top lane this game, it's not the most important. Like, you can go up there to get free kills like you did earlier in the game. But if you just, like, look at this, it's like Garen and Skarner, like, they're both two kind of, like, tank bruiser champs. Whereas, like, if you gank bot, you can get, like, free kills on Zyra, you can shut down Samira. So, yeah. Like, now Qiyana is actually quite a bit ahead of you. Which is super weird. There, if you'd been a bit more patient, you could have killed her. Let's just see. And maybe with a different combo. There's a lot of creeps, so you probably do need to use RQW. Yeah, so the problem is here, you use W. I think the way to kill this guy here is when he stands in the creep wave like this, like here, you just R and then QW him, and that should kill all the creeps at the same time, and it should give you an easy E. If you do start with this, I think, yeah, you R back on him. And I mean, I think he's dead here if you just, like, hold your chain a little bit, but yeah, I think there is a combo to where that could could have been made a bit easier. Yeah, like you're strong, but you're not so strong that you're just like insane 1v9 yet. Like you're level 11 with Ludens, which is like, yeah, okay. Level 11 with Ludens is definitely the hardest LeBlanc power spike, but I think you've just lost a lot of CS, mainly from just like CSing kind of poorly. Yeah, and I think method CSing would make that a whole lot easier for you. This is good though. Nice, that was really sick, by the way. That's pretty smart. Okay, so you come up here, get 2 kills. That's great. Looks like we're gonna get another one. Okay, nice. So yeah, now you're like out of control fed, and you should be strong enough to also get your CS back up quite a bit. Yeah, so like that's how it should be. Once you, well, it's a lot easier with Ludens, but if you can get decently fed on LeBlanc, it's super easy to CS because now your W can kill the whole wave, whereas before it's kind of hard. Oh, let me just check something again. Very nice. So yeah, you push the mid wave. You're coming here, which is all good. You should probably swap to sweeper pretty soon. I think you W these creeps. Nice. Yeah, again, if you just like look on this wave, you're making the wave super hard for you to CS. Like you're making it take. You need to last hit creeps if you do this. But what you should do, if you just Q one of these melees, W the backline, that kills like 4 of them straight away. And then you can worry about, you know, like using your Q or whatever to last hit the other ones. Because right now you're full mana. In the early game, right, you don't really want to use skills to CS. But around level 8 and level 9, when it starts being that you can one-shot the wave with your abilities, then it becomes really, really good to use, yeah, like that, basically. So you could have been doing that a lot earlier and a lot more often. Now, this is interesting. I think the roam is probably good, but also you should go back and get that tower afterwards. Okay, that guy dies. From top, I mean, it's kind of fine. You're going to get a lot of CS here anyway. Okay, chains are definitely hitting. Now you should just... Okay, I think the base is sort of bad. I think you should keep pushing. How long is on Dragon? I can't see. Oh yeah, Dragon's not up for ages, for 5 minutes. So I think here, your base is a bit too weak. So like, there should be no one top lane. I'm just going to check, but Qiyana should be... Yeah, so Qiyana's like going mid. Skana just died, which means no one's going to be in the side lane at all. So I think here, you could just keep pushing that wave. So let's just kind of like all vision. So I think you could probably quickly kill this Gromp if you wanted, but it's not necessary. I think you push at least 1, probably 2 waves to where it gets to here and then starts bouncing back to you. Because otherwise, we're going to end up losing a lot of CS top lane, like if we just play it out. So you based. I mean, you walked straight back top, but half the wave died. And like again, now you're leaving, but there's nothing for you here. You should just be pushing the side wave. Like Lucian's going to catch mid, so I'm not sure why you're mid. Like, yeah, you come mid and now Lucian goes top, but you both like miss CS out of that. So that was really weird. You should just, again, be QWing these waves. It's making you take a lot longer, and also it's making it a bit harder. And you can see, because it's like mid-wave, right, like you're not really safe to push this far up, but if you're in the side lane, you actually could push it quite a bit further. So you lose a lot of CS here. Should be double chain combo. Nice. Here I think it is a bit ideal if you can hit someone that's not Skana, but it doesn't look like there is anyone else to hit. So I like it. I think you're doing pretty well. Let me actually just go back. It's kind of hard to see with like the, rather than a POV. Yeah, this is fine. You can't see anyone else right now anyway. I think here you see Samira. I think you should realize that Samira is the highest threat here. Although maybe you can't even get to her. I mean, you're going to kill these guys anyway, right? I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I guess you played really well. So here you guys should get Baron. So I would be spam pinging to do Baron right now. But yeah, I'm like 90% sure you guys could have done Baron. But, you know, sometimes your team won't listen even if you do ping. But I think they probably would have. Zhonya's third. I think it's fine. It's probably good actually. They have a lot of AD. You come top out of base. You can farm this wave. Yeah, like now it's so easy for you to kill waves. Good. Nice, nice steal. What the? Can that guy kill you? No way, right? What? That chap's broken. Okay, what? So what even happened here? Okay, so he... I think you... W... You could have R'd a bit earlier so that didn't kill you. And I think here you flash and then you E this guy. Like if he keeps chasing, but instead you like went all the way back. So that gives a 1k gold shutdown to Skarner. I mean to Kha'Zix, and I think they probably can Baron off this because both your carries are dead. Yeah, so they get Barons. That was another really, really painful death. And if you played it a little bit better, I think they wouldn't have... Well, one, they wouldn't have got the shutdown, but I think they wouldn't have started Baron either. So that's another one where, yeah, it's a very frustrating death for you, I'm sure. Because, like, you make one mistake and the game just, like, gets out of hand. But that's just kind of the way it goes when you're the super fed member on the team. This is fine. You probably just base straight away here. I don't think you really have the HP to pressure anything. Good base. Nice, nice. You come back on the map. Wukong steals. Nice. Good combo as well. I mean, this is all really good. You have a really nice flank behind their carries. Now here you want to get back into a side lane as soon as possible, I think. So you're kind of like running to bot, but you're going to share golden XP here. I probably would have based and just gone top. I feel like that was super not worth it. Like you could have got the 300 gold from killing that guy from just farming top waves. And you had to share gold XP and invest your flash. So I think that's really not worth it in my opinion. If you can get a kill with flash before an objective, or, you know, just really like converse to something, it's going to be a lot better. But there, like, this kill doesn't convert into anything. You could have got the gold ages ago. And yeah, just like all during this time, you weren't really in the side lane doing anything. You do kind of have access to their backline here. I think you should probably have played over this wall. Yeah, I think you kind of misplayed. I think you either play over this wall or you like stay where you are and keep threatening them. I think once you walk here, it's too much distance for you to cover because you can't W over this wall here, like through here. You can walk all the way up here, but then you're super close to them. So yeah, the fight becomes quite hard for you, I think, when you put yourself in that sort of position. At least you live, but like you're 14 kill LeBlanc and you didn't do anything in that fight, so that's pretty bad. How do they not end? Do they just troll or something? Seems so over to me. I actually have to just like fountain dive or something, right? Oh yeah, they're just like not hitting the Nexus, I guess. Okay, well you guys managed to hold on, but I think the game should really have ended. Okay, this is so good, by the way. This is what you should be doing basically the whole mid game. So when you come out of base, you come to a side lane, you farm whatever camps you can, and then you try and push the side lane as far as you can, like safely. Right here, you know you're safe because you have tons of mobility, and they're off the map. So you would push the wave to like here, right? And then after this point, so after the wave is going to crash, you can choose. Do you want to hit this tower and keep split pushing? Or do you want to come group with your team? Normally, I think grouping with your team will be the right option. But it'll depend. But this is exactly what you should be doing. This is how LeBlanc plays the mid game. Is when the wave gets all the way up here, you have so much time to do stuff before it bounces all the way back here. But the problem is, because you keep pushing it up to just like right here, you don't get very much time to actually commit to stuff without losing creeps for it. So that was super good, and you should be looking for that way, way more. It's fine to push mid here, because you don't really need to be top. Yeah, like, you'll see this will eventually push back to you, and it'll be a lot of gold. Do you base? Let's just see it. Kind of missed it. Is this just the only guy here? Iron Samira. Nice. Kill that guy. On the map, you get some farm. Actually, no one's touched that top wave in forever. Literally no one's walked up there. That's kind of crazy. Okay, let's watch this fight. So, it is a pure 5v5. You know they're in top side because you just saw Samira. Check, this was good, this was good. Lucian, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about Lucian just like literally face checking their team. I think you, like right now you can see where their carries are, and I think you should probably try position in a way to reach them. Because if you hit Qiyana in this fight, it's not going to do any damage, basically. So I would be trying to find ways to get to these two right here. Because again, like you're a 16 kill LeBlanc, but you didn't really find any impact until the fight was already over. Like Samira just sort of hard entered it. Yeah, still not. I mean, is the game seriously not going to end because they troll again? Oh my god. These guys, they must be so mad. Okay, one more team fight. One more team fight. Yeah, this is quite hard for you to get a good position because you just have no vision over anything. I like that you were trying to like find a way around. But it's just super hard to actually, like, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to position. Okay, well that's the game. So I think, okay, some good things. I think you definitely worked on a lot of the stuff. I think you punished CDs. Well, I don't know. Just your early game in general was a lot cleaner. Your early game in general was a lot cleaner. You used better combos, in my opinion. That's good. I think, yeah, the early game. CD punishment / advantage punishment was still a bit lacking. Like, you punished better, but there were times, I remember, like, level 9 versus level 8, when he used all his cooldowns, or all her cooldowns, and you could have really punished hard. So that could have allowed you to, like, win the early game a little bit more. But I don't know, it was like, you know, you won the early game, I would say. I think your CSing, so like standing next to creeps / right clicking, both need to be improved. You do miss a bit too much CS, I would say. So you can either stand closer to the creeps to make the auto animation a bit easier, or you can just kind of like practice right clicking, like in practice tool or whatever, as LeBlanc, and just like last hitting the creeps. I think also the wave control, I think your wave control was quite good. Maybe you could have 3-wave crashed instead of 2-wave crash, but honestly, I think it's like most of the way there. It's definitely not going to be a big deal if you're still in gold. What else do we have? I'm trying to look at what did we look at last time? Early game, I think most of roam timings were quite good. Oh, there was one awkward base timing. I guess like realizing how bad staying on the map with gold plus no resources is. So like there was that time where you gave Qiyana basically 2 minutes of free laning because you didn't base, and I think that could have been like one more solo kill during that time, would have put you a bit further ahead. But for the most part, I thought your early game was pretty good, definitely better than before. So in the mid game, I think your main problem was definitely, oh actually no, there was one more thing in the early game. So the method CSing thing. So I'll quickly explain this, because I did talk about it in my farming guide, but maybe you haven't seen it. So like method CSing, or at least it's just like a name I've come up with, but I don't know what other people call it. Basically, it's just like, eventually, most champs reach a point where you can CS the wave without needing to use auto attacks anymore, basically. You can get rid of all the skill required of CSing. So for LeBlanc, she reached a point where if you have enough AP, or if you have enough levels, so level 8 or 9, like depending on what kind of items you have, where your W can kill the creeps, the range creeps, after you auto attack them once. And once you reach this point, you can put one auto on each of the back creeps, on each of the range creeps, and then you can like auto a melee creep to half and Q it, and that way your QW guarantees you get 4 out of 6 CS every wave. And I think that'll make a big difference for you, because there's a lot of CS at that like level 8 plus mark where you're just like missing it because you're making it hard for yourself. Like you actually do have to last at it. To give some like other examples of champs like this, like Ari, I think once she has 4 points in Q and like with minion dematch, she can just like one shot the range creeps, and then she can W the melee creeps. So it's like really easy for her to get 6 out of 6 CS on every wave. Rise, for example, on a cannon wave can EQ a cannon wave and kill it all. And then like Victor obviously can just like one shot a wave with his laser. But my point is that like, yeah, okay, you're right clicking on LeBlanc, like your pure last hitting can definitely improve. But a big problem you have basically is that you're making it so you do have to like last hit every creep, as opposed to just like reaching a certain point and QWing waves. So I'd say like one hit on ranged creeps, Q a melee, then W. Also, a thing that goes with this, as LeBlanc, like after, I'd say like after level 6, maybe? Yeah, after, probably like level 6 and after, you want to auto the range creeps anyway, like twice, because you want to make it so that your W one-shots the back wave, and then you can easily get a chain on them. So there are a lot of times you're just autoing the melee creeps, but you should be autoing the range creeps, getting them low, getting them like half HP, and then when they don't expect it, you just W, because they're like hiding behind the range creeps, it kills them, and then you get a free chain. So I think if you'd done that in the early game, you probably could have snowballed a little bit more, but for the most part, it was good. But if your CS was better, obviously, it would have made a big difference. In the mid game, again, it's like the side lane, so I think I kind of explained it well. You need to like push as far as possible, like without dying, basically, and then like group / take tower. So there was a lot of times where you weren't pushing it as far, and that meant that you kind of like self-deny a lot of CS, or you just like didn't realize that you could push the wave and you like based or something instead. So that's definitely a really big thing for you. Team fighting, again, I think there were a lot of times where you couldn't really find impact, even though you were like really fed. So I think you need to be like really careful about your positioning in team fights. I'm actually just like gonna go to some examples. So oops, did not mean to hit the mic. There's like one, where was it? It was like when you were right here. Was that way back here? Yeah, so it's like right back here, right? So you have a lot of ways you can create impact in this fight. You could WR QE this Zyra. You could be like walking around behind QREing someone. You could be like you could even like, yeah, you could like what else could you do? You could just like walk here and WR if you're not scared of walking in this choke. But basically, you had too many fights where you were just like, you were strong, but it just like didn't convert into anything. And also, I think maybe you should be, I'm just going to say in general, it's kind of hard to generalize just based off one game, but I think you should just, as in the whole game, be a bit more patient with your chains. There was a couple times with Qiyana where she like dashed on you. I don't know. I think it was like more Qiyana specific. I'm just gonna say like versus Qiyana. I think, yeah, for the most part your chains were good. It was just versus Qiyana there was some trouble. So positioning / finding angles, I think, is definitely the biggest thing for you in team fights. Like making sure you actually do have impact. You should feel, I don't know, like if this happens to you in game when you've got like 14 kills but it feels like you can't do anything, you should probably just like watch this yourself. Obviously I'm like down to watch it for you, right? But I think you could recognize in these times that like if you end up useless in these fights, it's really, really bad, obviously. And I think there are ways that you can kind of create a bit more pressure for yourself in team fights. Like there was, which team fight? It was like this one here where your Lucian face checked. Like you have all your cooldowns here, so you should be able to find a way to do something here. You could like flash RQW, or you could like W flash R. There's like a lot of things you could do. Yeah, so like right now, I think you're walking away. But if we look at your vision, like you can see these guys. I probably would have stayed in that bush with your sweeper on. You would have seen Kha'Zix coming. Maybe you could have killed him. Otherwise, like, yeah, you really don't want to hit the tank. I would probably right here, W flash RQ ignite that Zyra, and she probably dies. But instead, you just like, you don't really find the pressure you need. The only reason you kind of win this is because, well, you don't even win it, but the only reason that goes like decent is because Samira just mega ins. So yeah, I think, yeah, also, let's just put that. So like team fighting, positioning, finding angles, patient with your change versus Qiyana. I guess like another thing with your team fighting is just like, I don't know, really like targeting slash no, it's not even targeting. It's like finding a way to reach their carries. You shouldn't just like accept that you have to hit the front line. LeBlanc has like a lot of tools to like really make sure you can kind of get to where you need to be. You know, there's like flash combos slash double dash combos. So it's tempting as LeBlanc at that point in the game to just use QR. Because it does like the most damage, right? And it's the easiest to execute. But the thing is, in a lot of team fights, you're not going to be able to reach. So you should definitely look to use the double dash combos in those situations. I think there was like definitely a couple times where you could have killed Zyra. Yeah, let's say that. How to work on these? I think, yeah, just like keep. I mean, to be honest, you just like have to keep practicing, right? Like I think you definitely showed like that you've improved quite a bit from this game, or at least I thought you had. I think the biggest thing for you, again, the CD punishment slash advantage like punishment, just like realizing where you're strong. So like realizing when you are stronger than your opponent, and that can come from like lots of different places. You know, like you can be stronger because you have an item advantage, because you have a level advantage, because you have a cooldown advantage, because like you have ignite and they don't. Like it can be a ton of ways, right? I guess you just need to think about that a bit more. You're CSing overall, so I think you're if you like stand closer to creeps, like try implement method CSing on LeBlanc, try like focus on side laning a bit more. I think that'll improve your CSing quite a bit, I would say. And then the team fighting is pretty hard. I think team fighting, like be more willing to use your double dash combo if you can't get in range, like if you really can't find a way to get on them. And also just like, I don't know, you just need to like, how do I put it? You need to just, it's not like create an angle. You're more willing to use double dash. It's like you really need to just be super focused on finding a way to hit their carries. Like there's a lot of those fights where it seems like you've just accepted that there's not much you can do and that you have no choice but to hit their front line, but it should not be the case very often. Like I think you definitely played well enough this game to win, right? But you didn't play well enough to carry the game. So yeah, and I think there's a lot of those fights where you're super fed in LeBlanc, where if you could find a way to hit their carries, you could probably turn the fights around or at least make them more even. So yeah, I would say these are probably the big things. Again, I'll copy paste this to you. If you have any questions about it, of course, let me know. And yeah, I would really recommend looking at the farming guide, looking at standing next to creeps. I talk about that a bit, and look at the method CSing section as well. I think I actually talked about LeBlanc specifically there, but I can't remember. But yeah, I think that's it. Again, let me know if you need any help, if you have any questions, and I'll make sure to get back to you on it. So yeah, thanks and good luck.